Thank you, Chairman. You have to look a little bit to the side to find me here. Let me ask first Ms. Kaisar and Mr. Kamen to respond to, if you wish, Mr. Holtz-Eakin's comments about the stock buybacks. The information that we have right now is that the tax bill has produced $260 billion in stock buybacks and $6.5 billion in bonuses and raises, which, if my rough math is correct, is about $40 in stock buybacks for every single dollar in bonuses and raises. Mr. Holtz-Eakin seemed to view that with some equanimity. I wonder what your view is of that ratio and of the value of these stock buybacks.
Or buybacks. I don't think we can judge too much from bonuses or buybacks. I think it's too early to tell what's happening. I think that the indirect effects of the tax bill on the longer-term horizon, that's how we can judge growth. I think that
from a stock buyback point of view, what sector of the economy does best in stock buybacks in terms of income level?
I think, right, you're giving money to shareholders who then
tend to be higher income and higher wealth folks.
Right. That may mean, however,
how does it roll through to CEO salaries, for instance, and executive compensation?
Certainly might go back to the executives. It's hard to say exactly where the dollars will go. I will say that, right, when you're talking about lowering the corporate rate, most mainstream studies put 75% of the benefits of that to shareholders.
Mr. Kamen?
So I'd first agree with both Professor Kaiser and also Dr. Holtz-Eakin that we are early on, and right now the best evidence that we have about the likely effects of this bill are the comprehensive analyses that have been done.
Focus on who's likely to benefit.
Right, and I think that the evidence from those comprehensive analyses says that the disproportionate benefits from this tax bill will go to the top. In terms of the buybacks specifically,
so let me jump in then, because my time is short here. There's also a table in the Senate Committee on Finance, JCT, April 24th report, Table 3, that shows that the tax benefit of the pass-through deduction under Section 199A in the year 2018 goes across all taxpayers in the amount of $40.2 billion, but to people earning over $1 million, $17.8 billion. And if you go out to 2024, the total benefit is $60.3 billion, or the total cost, depending on how you look at it. And more than half of that, $31.6 billion, goes to people earning $1 million and over. Do you have any dispute with those numbers that JCT has put together for us that are in this Table 3? Anyone? Okay, so that looks like about at least a 2-to-1 benefit for people earning over $1 million a year. We also have a recent letter from the Congressional Budget Office that says that the share, I'm quoting it here, the share of the additional real income accruing to foreigners from this tax bill averages 43% from 2018 to 2028. And it has a table here that shows that it varies between 31% and 71% in those individual years, averaging to 43%. The conclusion here is that in 2028, of the additional real income that year resulting from the increased economic activity engendered by the Tax Act, 71% will accrue to foreign investors. How much of what we borrowed, let me pause on that. Some people have said we borrowed $1.5 trillion to fund this tax cut. Some people have said we borrowed $2 trillion to fund the tax cut. Mr. Kamen, what's the difference between those numbers?
The $1.9 trillion or $2 trillion number is the most recent estimate from the Congressional Budget Office.
And it adds interest?
It adds interest,
so that's
as well as economic effects.
Okay. Does that mean that a significant portion of what we have borrowed is actually going to the benefit of foreign investors if you read this CBO letter?
I think the CBO letter reflects the fact that a significant portion of income over the next 10 years will be paid back to people who we borrowed from.
Should we be thrilled that we borrowed this much money and put that all on our credit card so that this much money could go to foreign investors?
I think that it reflects the fact that some of the gains from this bill are a lot less than advertised, and even those gains were small.
Well, not if you're a foreign investor. That's way bigger than advertised. Thank you.